Yeah, through went great. Anytime we could go on the road and in conference, out of conference is obviously important for us. Uh, with just some of the things going on the last couple of days with James's injury and the departure, that we respond today and show as a program that we're able to focus and compartmentalize and play a winning style of basketball.
Okay, Wayne, go ahead.
And no one player is going to fill the shoes of James Bouknight, but you had 5 players who scored 7 or more points. So this was a real team win, wasn't it?
Yeah, and James is one of the best players in the country, and his loss is only going to be filled while he's out. With the strength of who we are, which is we've got depth. And we've got a lot of guys that can step up and do it on a given night. And obviously Tyler offensively, Tyrese offensively, and and obviously others. Brendan Adams quietly had a really, really good game. And in Whaley, the 9 points doesn't really tell the story of his impact.
Can you talk about Tyrese Martin? And he had a slow start to this game, missed some layups, and it seemed like the 3-point game is what got him going offensively.
Yeah, so, Tyrese, usually when you miss, you go closer, but he was so close that on his misses today that he had no choice but to move out. It shows to me a lot of mental toughness too, because he could have went in the tank today, coming off the Marquette game where he just didn't finish a bunch of point blank things. But, he showed, he showed that he could be a really important guy in our program.
And you touched on Brendan Adams a little bit, but did he meet your expectations? Did he give you what you hoped you'd get in this game?
Yeah, if we don't get that from Brendan today, we don't win. He was, he defended really, really well, minus a possession or two where we just had a total breakdown. But no, he was like a mature, older player that was opportunistic on offense, and just was rock solid. Just didn't make a lot of mistakes today. And a lot of times you win because you make less mistakes than the other guy.
Joe Zone?
Yes, Dan, back-to-back road wins, double-digit in the Big East. Would you call that a benchmark for a team that's trying to regain its status in college basketball?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, we're doing what we're supposed to do when we're in year 3 of rebuilding. We're better in year 2 than we were in year 1, and we're a better team in year 3 than we were in year 2. We're building a program, we're building a culture. And again, at the end of last season, the last third of last season, we learned how to win again here at UConn. And, obviously it's carried over into the psyche and the mindset of our program.
Gavin?
Dan, how has your mental toughness grown as a team this season that it allows you to, win these games on the road, your mental toughness?
Well, if you practice hard every day and the coaching staff drives you, and you embrace that as a player and try to raise your level as opposed to pout or blame, complain, defend, or look for an exit, you become tougher. You become more resilient as an individual and as a team. And when you go through adversity like we did in year 1 with this group, with Isaiah and Tyler and Brendan and Josh, and then last year in year 2 with Book and Akok and Gaffney, and all the new people. If you could get through adversity and learn from it and just try to get better from it and not get devastated by it, those failures turn into success. And that's what you go through during a rebuild.
Dave Borges?
Dan, do you like, I'm sure things, could change moving forward, but do you like the idea of Tyler being sort of that microwave off the bench, instant offense type of deal that he's kind of provided?
Yeah, I mean, that break for Tyler was, that was like beautiful self-care, 3-day break during Christmas. And, we had some conversations before, and then since he's been back about just, you've got the ultimate green light. If you could get it off situationally, there may be a time where, with the lead late or something where we're trying to clock it or whatever, but or we might not want him firing, but if he can get it off, he probably should shoot it. So, and if I make that, and obviously he's got to defend for us, and I thought, he held up really well defensively, and we need him more on the backboard than he was today. He's got to be better that way, but yeah, I mean, I like him as coming off the bench. The matchups in this game were better for him coming off the bench with the way that they substitute. So, yeah, I mean, he's doesn't matter if you play 30 minutes, 28 minutes, whatever, it don't matter.
Tom?
Yeah, Dan, can you update us on James's injury? Has it regressed, or is he making progress? What are the possibilities he could play more?
Yeah, we're just kind of dealing with that right now from the road. Zoom calls with doctors. We've got to be real smart with all of our players. We just medically, James and Dr. Dina and our medical people have done a beautiful job rehabbing Akok and Tyler, and James is. We're just communicating with doctors and make sure that we do the right thing in terms of when we can get him back. That's as evasive as I could be.
Sorry, Charlotte?
Speaking of Akok, I mean, he played limited minutes tonight, but what that was like to get him back on the court since February.
Yeah, emotional lift for all of us. I think losing James, but Akok just kind of being welcomed back was a nice lift for everyone. And the dunk that he got there was like, I think, a play that charged everybody up. And there's rust there. To throw a guy who hasn't played in basically a year, who's recovered from an injury of that magnitude, as beautiful as he's recovered. He's got to get his timing back. He's got to knock off the rust. We've got a real balancing act right now because we need we need him on the court more, and we need to grow his role with this team. It's only going to make us better. But we also, it's a fine line in terms of fitting him into the rotation right now. But we'll grow his role hopefully with every game.
What was he, I guess, like on the bench today that he finally got to get in as opposed to past when he wasn't dressed?
Yeah, he's always awesome. I mean, that's a selfless guy when it comes to the game, the practices, the game night. He's not a stat guy, or he's a guy that wants to win, wants to compete. Gets a lot of joy out of basketball. So, it's a real energy rush for us.
Last one, Dave?
Yeah, what can you say, Dan, about Akok, the way he's handled this entire past 11 months in his rehab, and how he's adhered to it and gotten back, I guess pretty much on time. What can you say about how he handled the entire situation?
I mean, he's worked, he's worked incredibly hard, incredibly diligently. He's obviously, credit to his surgeon. A huge credit to James Doran, who during the COVID, when it first hit, him and Akok got together at a critical time in his rehab, and James got in daily with him to put in the work. So, an amazing job by James, an amazing job by Akok. He's worked so hard. He hasn't been as patient as we would have liked at times. Me and him have gotten into a couple of dust-ups about speeding up his timeline. But, this is a guy with an incredible basketball future at this level and beyond that we've had to manage. So.
Okay, guys, if that's it, we'll let.
It was a great moment in my career. It's a special day. I've been waiting for this for a long time. There was a lot of nerves in the air. First game back, a lot of jitters and stuff. As soon as I got in the game, I got over it. Made that splash play, cut to the rim to the dunk. That really started things off for me. I want to use this as a game under my belt and to get more games in.
Anybody else? Question? Dom?
Yeah, Cook, how close to 100% do you feel right now? How strong is the leg? How much confidence do you have going out there right now that you're 100%, rehabbed and healthy?
I feel like I'm 100%. That's just. I just got to get more games under me. Took a 10-month layoff. Trying to get the rust off. But as soon as I get a couple games under me, I feel like I'll get it rolling again.
Dave?
Yeah, Cook, how hard has it been for you, to guard against? I'm sure you've wanted to come back maybe earlier than you did. How tough has that been? I'm sure the coach even said you two have, had to had talks about that. Has it been difficult to temper your enthusiasm to come back and realize this is probably the right time?
Oh yeah, it was pretty difficult at first, watching all these games and not having an impact. But I try to, like you said, I try to bring my enthusiasm in practice. Raise the level, competitiveness, and just my urge to get back overall.
Gavin?
What's the hardest part? You've been out for almost a year. What's the hardest part during that time for you?
Hardest part, it was hard when all the basketball players came back from home and came to UConn. Once they came back, they immediately started workouts and practices, and I wasn't allowed to do all of that, So that was the hardest part. But it was pretty smooth. My recovery, through this pandemic. It's not a lot of basketball going on, so every day it was just like a one-on-one with me, just trying to get better. And nothing was really happening, pandemic and stuff. So yeah.
Charlotte, last one?
To kind of just follow up on that, what were you doing in your spare time when you weren't able to play basketball and your recovery might have been done for the day? How are you just getting through that, being injured and recovering?
Getting through that. So I would have two sessions of recovery every day. The first one would just be just working on the Achilles, trying to get it stronger, and the second part was the SwimX, getting in the water that way. So those were 2 sessions, and then after that it was just it was just going home and just spending time at home, feeding my mind. Coach Hurley, he put me on with podcasts, and reading. He gave me a book throughout my recovery. Told me to read more. And, I tried not to stand in front of the TV all the time, because I feel like that would have been the wrong thing for me to do.
Okay, that's Dave.
Yeah, Tyler, I just wondered, do you like the idea of, I know you've started a lot over your career here at UConn, but the idea of being that kind of microwave off the bench to provide the instant offense like you did today and certainly the last game as well, do you kind of like that role? Is it something you can get used to? Or?
Yeah, I've embraced it. I've embraced my role on the team. Just to be that hot hand, just to come out firing off the bench. I love it. Can't ask for anything more. I feel like it's less pressure on me because I'm just going out there shooting for real. So I love my role right now.
Dom?
Coach said that around Christmas time, you guys had a conversation and he told you had the ultimate green light. You remember that conversation and what it was like and what's that done for your confidence? It looks like you're shot ready and shooting with confidence right now.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. It helped me a lot, just to know that the coaching staff and Coach Hurley still believes in me, because coming out of an injury, struggling early, not playing to my potential. But when he told me that, it gave me confidence, and I know they had my back. So when he told me that, I was just ready.
Gavin?
How much does kind of help your team's confidence now, Tyler, with 2 straight road wins and the way you're winning it without Book being available?
It helps our confidence a lot, man. We know we're a big team. We got a lot of depth. We got a lot of talent on this team, and it starts on the defensive end for us. So, of course, we miss Book. Book is amazing. But, we have guys that are ready to step up. And when that happens, we get a result with a dub.
No?
Hey, Tyler, not exactly directly related to your performance, but it was the first game you guys played this season with fans in attendance. Did that change the atmosphere at all? Did you even notice them? I know you guys were sort of, in a comfortable lead most of the game and there weren't many people there, but what was that like?
That was pretty cool to see. I'm not going to lie, man. Even though it wasn't a lot of fans, but it was still cool to see. They brought a little bit of energy. I think we fed off that a little bit throughout the course of the game. But it was cool to see. We were excited beforehand. We heard about Butler going to have fans, so I think that revved us up a little bit.
Mike Mavrodakis?
Hey, Tyler, what was it like to see Akok come back after the long layoff from injury?
It was amazing. It was amazing to see Cook come back. I was so happy for him. He got that dunk. I was lit. I was happy. I was really happy for him. But it's amazing to see him come back, contribute, and I just can't wait to continue to play with him.
Dom?
Yeah, Tyler, I guess there's a pretty good possibility, maybe a really good possibility that when the polls come out on Monday, UConn could be ranked for the first time in a long, long time. This is the first time since you've been there. Do you guys pay attention to that? Will you be kind of refreshing the page and waiting for the polls to come out Monday?
That's definitely something we know we're aware of, but we try not to focus too much on that. Try to focus on next game mentality because we're in the Big East. This is a tough conference and things can switch up real quickly. So we try not to focus too much on the ranking. But if we do become ranked on Monday, that would be great. A great accomplishment for us early in the season. But we just gotta keep going, keep trucking.
Okay, last one, Gavin.
Tyler, you guys have become a pretty good road team towards the end of last year now into this year. What's the difference between, say, mid-season last year?
I would say that it's just our defensive intensity. Towards the end of last year, I seen like we picked it up defensively, and that's how we started winning. And this year, we continued that. And we're finishing games too. Last year, every game we finished games before the last stretch. But this year, we're finishing games, we're staying consistent, and that's how we get this result.
Okay, guys, I guess that's it. Thanks a lot, everybody.